Hi, welcome to our presentation. But before we actually get into the solution, I would like to introduce you to our guy named Bill. Now remember, Bill, Bill is allergic to soy milk. And now Bill is going to a vaccination center to get vaccinated, only to wake up with doctors in his eyes. Oh no, what happened? Turns out the vaccine has soy milk. Haha, now Bill has more bills to pay. Similarly, in the Philippines, digital patient records are expensive. Expensive in a sense of money, time, and unfortunately, lives. This is comparable to snail mail, where it is slow and pricey. And because of that, this is responsible for 450,000 deaths. It's the third leading cause of death, medical negligence or misinformation. Now, I took my time and asked doctors to identify specific paperwork patient storage related problems. And really, what really topped the list was identifying and locating patient data and filling up / updating patient records. But why is this bothersome? It's because it's, first of all, complex and unorganized, and second, really, really hard to access. And when I ask them how they do their storage today, the majority of them go paper, pen and paper, which is, as we know, really inefficient. Now, three main problems I'd like to highlight here is first, some doctors go digital, but they use Facebook, which is not up to the standards in terms of security and efficiency. Second, their current systems are complicated and inaccessible. Last, they want to consume less paper. Now, let me introduce you to our solution, Segue. Segue MediRecords, an electronic health record for physicians by physicians. Now, Segue simplifies and centralize, it's up to the doctors, electronic medical records with Notion to help small-scale physicians with patient care. Now, it has a variety of features. Four of the major ones are first, cloud-based storage in cloud patient info. Second, resources for doctors. Third, medical records. And fourth, miscellaneous. Now, let me show you what really is going on Segue.
Fill in with the pre-filled information. Now let's open a real patient or a dummy patient for more context, and right off the bat you can see that there are all the basic information laid out here at a glance. Segue also has important links and resources such as the health release form and a virtual physical examination guide. Apart from that, Segue has a field for additional medical information, but the heart of Segue lays in the medical records like lab results. All of them are pre-filled, so doctors will just have to fill this in with the details of the patient. Less formatting, more work. Now, the neat little thing here is the COVID-19 self-monitoring. So as somebody who has experienced COVID, this is important. Now, if I want to share it with the patient in a button, all I just have to do is click, paste, and now let's go to the patient POV. This is incognito, so it's all no account. It's not account-based, so let's fill that in there. Yes, yes, yes. And as you can see, it automatically fills this up. It's fast. As you can see here too. And say I want to revoke the access of that patient, all I have to click here, and it'll automatically kick you out. Now, the other sections include custom fields because some doctors like pediatricians and dentists have specific measurements to take. Finally, we have the to-do list to keep doctors in the loop. This comes with an email alert aside from the push notification. Thank you, Codeathon X.
So as you can see, that was Segue. It was really detailed, but I really had to compress that pitch since it was only 1 minute long. Now, Segue can also be brought around by doctors in different devices, such as mobile phones and PC, or even tablets. And this is a preview of Segue. It's really, really convenient and intuitive. But the question remains, is it safe? Notion uses the same level of security as that of Pixar and Slack. That should be enough information. If you want the specifics, they use SOC Type 2 security. So it's as safe as the movie who is producing Lightyear, Pixar. And for our business model, I would like to go with two approaches. And this is freemium, free with ads. It has all the aforementioned features, but we also have premium with features tailored fit to doctors, such as email alert, 30-day history and backups, removing a file upload limit, priority customer support, and specialist-specific fields, only for
Well,
a
the
$50
time is
one-time
up.
payment.
Okay.
That's it for Segue. Thank you very much.
Okay, very great presentation, but the time is up, so we can jump into the judges' comment. If there is any question, please from the judges.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hi, Carl. Hi, Carl.
Hi, Jeff.
Really cool stuff. Interesting to see how there are so many deaths that you say is related to misinformation. Is this something like from a report, or is this an assumption of
It's from a
you know-
research paper, Sir Jeff,
Okay,
specifically
yeah.
from the US. It's the third
Okay.
leading cause of death. Imagine.
Okay, and are these medical information, allowed to be shared from one to from one hospital to another per se?
Yes, specifically, if you would allow me to share my screen, there is a patient sharing authorization form. So if the doctor wants to share information to fellow doctors, they have a form to fill out and they can share it as easy as clicking a button. So let me share my screen real quick.
But as
Here.
in legally, it is allowed to be shared.
Yes, I have talked with both doctors and lawyers, specifically an attorney who specializes in liability for electronic medical records in San Francisco. She says it's an okay, as long as in fact, it's not even necessary to fill this in. And current systems allow to share patient information from one doctor to another. It's just that it's limited time.
And currently, you mentioned they're using Facebook as a way of sharing some information and stuff. So what specifically are they using Facebook like to share? Because I can't imagine, sharing documents and stuff via Facebook Messenger. Are they sharing these kind of information just using Facebook Messenger, or?
No, the point that I pointed out there with the Facebook Messenger is that doctors are migrating to Facebook for their clinical needs. So all their patient information is stored there, which is very vulnerable for data breaches and the such. Did I answer your question, sir?
Yeah. And I didn't is your team are you the only one in your team? Who else is part of this project that you've created?
Currently, I am collaborating real time with a doctor from a legit hospital here. But apart from that, I have my member Nikki Himaya here with me. Yeah, Nikki.
Okay, so this is basically it's the two of you. Okay,
yep.
Cool. Yeah.
It's been the two of us so far.
That's all the questions I have. Yeah, really cool stuff. Keep it up.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Shall I go next? Hey, Carl. Good stuff.
Hi, Carl.
Just building up on Jeff's question, maybe you could give us some background about yourself and your teammate. Like, why are you guys the best people to do this?
Okay. First of all, hi everyone. My name is Carl Ko. I have been making innovations and, hackathon-esque kinds of products for years since grade 7. I am currently grade 12. And if you're asking about the validity of my forms, like, is this the correct input field for doctors? That's because my mother is a medical representative from Abbott Laboratories. And that's why I have access to doctors. And that's why I'm the best person, because I have direct access to doctors. And the fact that I really, I have experienced firsthand, first the COVID system, and I have seen how the records right now are really all around. It's a mess. And doctors really just went to me at one point and say, hey, can we fix this? So that's what really prompted me to make on this. So to summarize, I have years of experience, and second, I have connection to doctors and lawyers.
No, thank you so much for sharing that, like, shine light on your background a bit to show like why you're the best person. Other than that, what are the solutions in the market at the moment? Your competition. I think you have a slide about that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Let me share that real quick.
Maybe you could just dive in quickly. Yep.
Now, to give you some context, the electronic medical record industry is really, really almost monopolized because the prices here are really through the roof. Let's take Serbo by MDHU, for example. That's $1,000 per doctor. And it annually refreshes. So the edge we have here is we only have a one-time $50 payment. Did that answer your question, Sir Carr?
I understand.
Yeah. So
All right.
our edge is basically the cost and simplicity.
Okay. Last question. Do you have any traction? Have you approached any doctors to get their buy-in or things like that?
Yes, I actually have I actually conducted a usability test, but it's with Google Forms, and my doctors really gave insightful answers. But I'm hesitating if I should share the screen because of data privacy. Perhaps I
No
can
worries. Yeah.
show
You can just share the number or
Okay.
something like that, like how many people and how many say yes.
But as of now, it's up to 12 doctors.
All right.
It's contextualized in Cebu, Philippines. That's where I'm living, by the way.
Thank you so much, Carl.
Thank you so much, Car.
Hi, so I think it's my turn.
Yep.
Okay.
Hi, Kasama.
Hi. I have a question. Again, really great project and good problem to solve. I understand that the product will be based on Notion, right?
Yes.
So when the doctors and the patients use your product, who will be the owner of the data, and how will the data stored, and how will you manage and optimize and manage those data?
Thank you for that question. That is why I said that Segue is a decentralized, because if you're familiar with Notion, you can actually duplicate a template, since it's what I'm selling, a template of this pre-formatted digital form. So the ownership goes to them, the doctors, but that's with our training, so they know what to do.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. So you're saying that the doctors are the owner of the
Yes.
data.
They are the owner of the data. I have no way of accessing the data.
Okay. Okay. Sure. And sorry, I'm not sure whether you have addressed this, but what's your go-to-market time frame, and how is your go-to-market strategy looks like?
Okay. Let me share my slides again. That's actually no problem. Now, if you want to really go specific, my go-to-market are small-scale physicians, since the bigger doctors of Cebu have their own systems, but small-scale physicians usually use paper. Their market, and this is how I'll do it. It's with a freemium with ads. We can embed ads from pharmaceutical companies, and next one is the premium with extra features.
Okay. And how do you plan to acquire these small-scale doctors?
It's direct access with my mom. So it's usually first word of mouth. My main mode of marketing is word of mouth. But I will also at some point go to our even local barangay. That's what we call our subunit of government here of the state. So we go to those kind of people and also try to market and negotiate with our government doctors, since I was also informed that the way they're doing things now is really inefficient.
Okay. I think that's two of my questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kasama.
Okay, well, it seems all of the judges already give the question for Carl from Team Pro.